Welcome back, everyone. It is 6:47 TGIF. The weekend is finally here, and it looks like there's some clouds and rain to greet us into the weekend. Check out a few views from our iCams this morning. Looking a little foggy, definitely cloudy, and sounds like we'll have some rain throughout the day. Of course, I'll leave that up to the expert Ed. He'll have the forecast in just a few minutes. Our top story this morning, President Trump says his upcoming summit with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un is going to be a big success. The president made the comment during a rally in Indiana Thursday, where he celebrated the North's release of 3 Americans detained in the country. The summit is set to take place June 12th in Singapore. In the Mideast, Israel's defense minister is warning Iran against further attacks on Israeli targets. Israel claims Iranian forces fired rockets at its positions in the occupied Golan Heights Thursday. In response, Israeli forces attacked key Iranian military targets in Syria. While western and central Montana continues to get hit with rising floodwaters. First in Missoula, the Clark Fork River crossed into major flood stage and is expected to crest this weekend at levels among the highest in the last century. Additional evacuation orders and warnings are in effect. In addition, new hazards are emerging, like downed trees and power lines and gas leaks and floating debris. Several transients who were camping on an island along the Clark Fork had to be rescued early Thursday morning. Over in Helena, floodwaters continue to rise in an area already struggling. 10 Mile Creek has begun to cross Sierra Road, inching closer to an elementary school. And upstream, the high water has closed trails and blocked access to parts of a park. The Red Cross has opened up a shelter there. Lewis and Clark County leaders are ending the distribution of free sandbags this evening. With 70,000 already handed out, commissioners say the county cannot afford to spend more of the money it has set aside for emergencies. Well, when it comes to water rescue, first responders have to brave freezing water, swift currents, and anything else nature wants to throw their way. But here in Billings, new jet skis donated to the fire department are about to make things safer and faster. The fire department took to Lake Elmo on the first day to get accustomed to the skis, but on Thursday, fire crews actually tested the machines by taking on the engorged and swift-running Yellowstone River. This training helps prepare them to assist both conscious and unconscious individuals by getting them on rescue boards and back to safety. The smaller water crafts will allow first responders to access back channels and islands.
During this time of year, we've got a lot of debris and swift currents, and it may catch people off guard. And if something does happen with these personal watercraft, it'll make a quicker response to try and help somebody who's in need.
Along with the new jet skis donated by ExxonMobil, crews use dry suits, helmets, and flotation devices that can hold 600 pounds. Turning now to court news, the former Billings Clinic nurse fired last year for allegedly taking patient painkillers for himself plans to plead guilty to federal charges without a plea agreement. Billings Clinic's director of pharmacy services contacted the Drug Enforcement Administration in March of last year to report a series of drug thefts. Investigators learned Donald Mills had been diverting the powerful painkiller fentanyl from at least 300 patients for personal use. Mills refilled the empty vials with saline, a saltwater solution. During a forensic interview, Mills admitted taking the drugs to treat his neck pain. Court documents state Mills said he would go to the bathroom and inject the drug into his arm. Mills claimed he provided patients with a new vial of fentanyl in addition to the saline. An audit of the medication service station revealed Mills made 70 fraudulent transactions under his login. The change of plea hearing is scheduled for next week. A man tackled by a Billings nurse when he tried to grab sharp medical tools in an exam room is now facing charges for the incident. 34-year-old Michael Whiteman made his initial appearance in Yellowstone County Justice Court Thursday on one count of misdemeanor criminal endangerment. Back in January, Whiteman went to Billings Clinic same-day care. The nurse who tackled Whiteman said he was making strange comments about children hiding in the cabinets. A witness to the altercation said it was unnerving when Whiteman said he wanted to harm the imaginary children. The nurse pinned Whiteman down after he tried to grab a collection of sharp medical instruments soaking in a chemical bath in the sink. A former Bureau of Indian Affairs officer will spend time in prison for impregnating a woman he threatened to arrest. 43-year-old Dana Bullcoming was sentenced Thursday in U.S. District Court in Billings to 3 years in prison. Earlier, he pleaded guilty to 1 count of deprivation of rights under the color of law. Bullcoming admitted he went to a woman's home late at night and threatened to report her for being intoxicated while home with her children. The officer told the victim something must be done and told her he meant sex. The woman had sex with the officer out of fear she would be arrested and lose her job and children. The victim became pregnant as a result. Prosecutors requested a 10-year prison sentence, but the judge followed the recommendation of the defense. Turning to Crime Watch, Polson police are investigating counterfeit $20 and $100 bills. The phony bills apparently came from China and are used to teach counting techniques. The fact is written on the bills, but in Chinese characters. Police have identified 3 incidents where these bills have been used. In other news, Montana Senator Jon Tester and Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke faced off before the Senate Interior Subcommittee. At issue, Zinke's proposal for deep cuts in the Land and Water Conservation Fund, which is used to expand public access to public lands. Just last March, Congress agreed to secure $425 million for the LWCF, but Zinke is proposing that figure be cut to just $8 million.
LWCF is funded at a pittance, $8 million when it should be $900 million. Why should we think that this proposal is going to be any different if it's going to be similar to LWCF?
Well, the proposal, which is bipartisan, was also a recommendation from numerous commission studies.
I got you.
But it also expands it, and the idea is this. It is a sound and prudent policy.
It's fine if it's done, and LWCF is a sound and prudent policy too, to take offshore drilling revenues and put $900 million towards this project in 1978 dollars, and they're not near as much now as they were in '78, and we're funding it, I don't know, 1% of what it should be.
And this is why there's 2 branches of government, and why I'm committed to work with you on it.
Since 1965, Montana has used the Land, Water, and Conservation Fund to create fishing access sites and expand access to hunting areas and hiking trails in Montana. And wrapping up our news this Friday on a happy note, one Billings Elementary student dealing with medical issues won't have to worry about homework this weekend because today he's headed to Legoland. Make-A-Wish paid a visit to 9-year-old Gage at Ponderosa Elementary School Thursday to grant his wish. Gage has a disorder that causes abnormalities of the head and face. The disability has impacted his speech and cognitive development, but his parents say he has quite the personality. Gage's 2 big loves, the jungle and Legos. On Thursday, he learned he's headed to San Diego with his family to visit Legoland, and to top it off, his teacher and classmates decorated his classroom like a jungle.
Extremely overwhelming, just awesomeness, like everyone coming together, and the Make-A-Wish people and all these people at Ponderosa, just everyone coming together is it's really cool.
Gage's teachers say he will also visit the San Diego Zoo and SeaWorld, where he will get a behind the exhibit experience with the penguins. Now